Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Share, subscribe, like this video. I know I'm late. It's supposed to be on 10:30, but I had some things I had to take care of, so make sure you put your prayer requests in the bottom. I did get my grass cut, by the way. Got it done finally. It looks horrible still yet, but it's done. Still need a weed eat. I haven't done that in about forever, and hopefully the rain will let me. I'm just going to have to do it in sections, I guess, because the rain has been so ridiculous here. But thank each and every one of you for your support. Those that bought me coffee, all your support has been remarkable, and I appreciate every bit of it. Let's get straight into the stories. North Korea fires cruise missiles towards the Yellow Sea, which, you know, they've been quiet, but that's a hot spot. We just sent a nuclear sub there called it's the USS Kentucky. That sub by itself could take out the whole Asian continent by itself. That's how dangerous that thing is. But it's sitting parked in South Korea. So that's what brought this out. North Korea leaders threaten potential nuclear retaliation over the American presence in the region for the second time this month, following the docking of the U.S. submarine in South Korea. I promise I hadn't read this yet. The U.S. deployed the nuclear-armed USS Kentucky, which arrived at the South Korea port in Busan earlier this week. The presence of the Yohai-class submarine marks the first visit of the USS submarine to South Korea since 1980. According to Pyongyang Defense Minister Kang Sun-eun, the arrival of the USS Kentucky could give North Korea the green light to launch a nuclear attack. Following the submarine's arrival there, North Korea fired 2 ballistic missiles eastward in the last couple of days. So, another hot spot, as we said. Now, these are the birth pains. I know we keep making fun of them, but literally they just keep coming. And eventually these places are becoming so hot, just like it is there in Syria, that you can see the rapture coming, okay? You can see it miles away coming with all this stuff, because Pandora's box will be open. We've all seen that. Many of you have had the dreams and visions yourself. And we know because, Cindy sends stuff to me and all this other stuff. People are dreaming this stuff over and over and over. People are seeing tidal waves. They're seeing nuclear bombs. They're seeing all these things. And all of them, I do believe, is coming to pass. Now, Jasmine sent me something earlier. And Jasmine, we was talking about this. I was talking about Kim Fisher. And it's funny, God brought that to your attention because he did me earlier today. I noticed that I never knew one of the geysers at Yellowstone was called the Beehive Geyser. I did not know that. But God brought it to my attention. And I actually called Kim. And I'm like, do you think that this is part? And it could possibly be a warning about that geyser there. It could be a warning of Yellowstone itself. And for some reason, I'm telling you today, God just brought that to my attention. And then Jasmine did it early. And I'm sorry, Jasmine, I haven't got back to you. But it's funny, I noticed it too. So that's 2 of us in one day. And then Kim already knew about it because Kim knows everything. When it comes to beehives and honey, that woman has seen it all. Between her and Skylar, you can't get anything past them and Gigi. So, keep your eye on Korea. Like I said, that's another hot spot. And eventually, they're crazy enough to do it. Okay, this is updated at 2:04 p.m. It was a public warning from Russia. We talked about it earlier. Poland intends to tear off parts of Ukraine and Belarus under the NATO umbrella. Now, we talked about this maybe a month or 2 ago, that Poland has been eyeing the northern part of Ukraine. They want it. They've made it known. It's not some big conspiracy. They've made it known that they want that. So, reports are beginning to circulate claiming Poland intends to enter Ukraine with troops to grab parts of western Ukraine, but also tear off part of the western Belarus under the protection of the NATO umbrella. While Russia may be willing to allow Poland to take parts of Ukraine that were formerly Poland, Belarus, it appears, would be off limits. Should Poland try to grab parts of Belarus, the region in Eastern Europe will likely immediately explode into a full-scale World War III. Poland seems to be ready and beginning playing a very dangerous game, developing slowly. President Vladimir Putin on Friday accused NATO member Poland of having tyrannical ambitions. I'll get it out here in a second. And said any aggression against Russia's neighbor and close ally Belarus would be considered an attack on Russia. Moscow would react in any aggression against Belarus, which forms a loose union state with Russia, with all the means at our disposal, Putin told the meeting of his Security Council in a televised remarks. This is, like I said, that whole area is about to blow up. Now listen, we've all seen, many of us have seen Belarus be destroyed, along with most of Ukraine. Now the video, if you want to see in depth, now we have, it's the last video in my description box. Go all the way down to the bottom of the description box and watch that video of that prophecy. Now many of us have seen that same thing. We've seen different parts of it. Bonnie McCoy saw the map without knowing this guy. Actually, when Bonnie had hers after mine, I went looking to see if anybody else had it, and that's when I found him. So there's 3 confirmation on just that event. So if you want to check that out, it's the last video in the description box if you're wondering what I'm always talking about Belarus. That's how we knew they was going to get nuclear weapons in Belarus. That's why when Wagner shows up there, didn't surprise us at all, because we know that Belarus plays a major role in this. And it's happening right before our eyes. Ain't Jesus great? He's letting us know, and some of us have known for years that this is coming. Okay, mass media begins telling public Ukraine is losing, which is something that they haven't been doing. And concessions to Russia and losing concessions to Russia, and the West can do no more. And it is funny. This is where they're going to say peace. Now, I told you that was going to happen too. Now, in all of our stuff, they tried it right somewhere at the beginning. They're going to say peace, and they're going to try to work this out. And then Russia's going to do a full-out invasion because somebody, you know, changes their mind at the last second. But that's how it's going to go. There's going to be a build-up in the media, and literally something's going to happen, and they're going to try to work this out. I talked about this months ago. And when that happens, somebody's going to jump the gun, and then all chaos. But see, we leave. I don't think we even see that. I think we're gone before that happens, and I could be wrong. We could see the beginning of that. But once you see that they're trying to work it out or something, and this right here is a sign of that, then you got to watch the sky because the rapture is near. One of the most remarkable 180-degree turns in history of the mass media, the press of the collective West began telling public today that Ukraine is losing. More stunning, the same mainstream media admits concessions to Russia must be made. See, it says, this was from Wall Street Journal, rapid loss of tanks shocked Kiev and the West. The rapid loss of tanks and armored personnel carriers are given to the West to Kiev for its armed forces. Counterstrike has been shocked Ukraine and its allies because they've lost everything we've ever seen. They've been losing since day one. They've not been winning this war at all. They've never gained any leverage at all. They've been at the same place they was forever ago, but the media's been telling everybody they're winning. But all of a sudden, they flip. That's never a good sign. Understand me. That's the sign we're looking for. See, the Telegram newspaper, the West will call on Kyiv, and it's make concessions to Russia. These are just different papers. They're all, and these are papers that's been lying to everybody forever, saying that they're winning. But all of a sudden in a day, now when that happens, and they're all repeating the same thing on every network, that means they're getting ready to do something. It's not coincidence that now with all these papers admitting that Ukraine's losing, out of nowhere, overnight, that means the government has told them to change the narrative, okay? And what's happening over there, now you see Poland getting ready to go in and try to take some of Ukraine and some of Belarus. There's going to be greed. Listen, greed and evil is running this, okay? This is not going to stop. It's going to look like it is, but it will not. It will only get worse. They've already made up their mind. They're going to go for this all out. There's no stopping it. That's why I tell you to get as many people on the ark as possible, because I already seen the outcome. And I'm telling you, they will work at peace at first, and then something happens. Now, that part, I don't know who hits who first, but it just turns out to all-out war out of nowhere. And I know Americans, I've talked to them all the time about these things, and they think that nobody can touch this place, that it can never happen, but I'm telling you, it's going to happen. But they believe that They're invincible here, and you cannot get it through their head that this place is going to be gone very soon, and it is. This is all going to be gone. They will never believe it until, I mean, every dream I dream that's later on, there's no electricity, there's no running water, there's no, all that's gone, okay? It's just gone. This is coming to an end. Understand me. I don't talk to you, church. You're ready to go home. You're ready to get out of here just along with me. But those of you that's sitting on the fence, I promise you it's coming to an end. And the way everybody's way of life, of going to Walmart and going to the fast food stuff, that is coming to an end very quickly. World War III is going to happen. Let me tell you something. It's set that will happen. Rapture, World War III, but we are raptured before World War III, okay? So between the rapture, people start disappearing. Every baby on this earth starts disappearing. And it will happen. I promise you. These other people ain't going to know what to do. They're going to be flipping out because they don't. Most of the church don't even believe in the rapture. So they're like, what's going on? But the rest of the world's going to be completely oblivious. There's going to be cars running off cliffs, planes falling out of the sky. It's going to be chaos on earth. Then you have World War III. And I do believe after the rapture, I think they get to this point of like, okay, heck, we've already lost half these people. So why not? Let's do it. And I think once the restrainers are removed, they just want to blow each other up. They don't have a choice after that. Now, when you get to this UN Security General Agenda Policy Brief 9, a new agenda for peace. See where I'm at in time. That's what we was talking about earlier. Now, this is what I think, this big UN thing, this big agenda that they're trying to get together at, this is the one that's going to happen in September in the Feast of Trumpets, okay? This is just part of it. But they start out with something that always disturbs me. And this right here is something Paul talked about. Is that peace is the driving force behind the work of the United Nations. There's that peace, and he said that. Today's new threats to peace create new demands on us. The policy brief is our attempt to meet those demands. I urge the member states to debate the new agenda for peace and engage with our proposals. When they start saying peace, you know, we're not now. The rapture's getting ready to happen. Talks about it many times. Every time they say peace. And it's going to happen also in the tribulation. It's going to happen before the rapture and during the tribulation. They're going to do it again. They're going to call for peace, and then poof, that's when all chaos is going to happen. And now that is starts the great tribulation. First part's the tribulation, then it becomes the great tribulation in the middle. So I wanted to bring that up. I'm not going to go through all of it here because they've got 17 goals, okay? They've got the no poverty, zero hunger, which there will be tons of hunger because they're going to ban all farming. The only way you'll be able to eat is through them. Number 3, good health and well-being. 4, quality education, which they're already taking over teaching your kids they need a sex change. 5, gender equality. Wow, ain't that happening right now. Number 6, clean water and sanitation. That's gone in the tribulation also. 7, affordable and clean energy. You can forget that. Very soon there won't be no such thing. Number 8, decent work and economic growth. That will be gone also. 9, industry, innovation, and infrastructure. That's going to be gone. All of these will be destroyed here very soon. Because the beginning of the tribulation, once World War III, most of this stuff will not exist anymore. 10, reduced inequalities. 11, sustainable cities. That will all be gone. There'll be FEMA camps, but there's not going to be no cities. Responsible consumption and production. That's going to be gone. 13, the client action. And the client action is the all-seeing eye. Now think about that. Number 13th goal is the client action. Or climate, I'm sorry. Climate action. And it's the big all-seeing eye. That's the one world religion. The worship of the creation and not the Father. 4, life below water. 15, life on land. Number 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions. Oh, the mark of the beast. That's what they'll be pushing. Number 17, partnerships for the goals. So these are the things that they're working on. So that's what they're going to meet on Feast of Trumpets to discuss, is these things right here. And they don't really go into detail what most of them are, but the whole thing about this thing that's happening in September is called the New Agenda for Peace. And Paul said, when they say peace. And like I said, this was the first time they had Pride Month in June. And I've always said that's a double meaning. After Pride comes the fall. And I think that's what we're looking at, is at the fall where everything is going to fall. Because we know that this right here is the season from here to there. We don't know where. But let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. We're that close. We're very close to the world blowing itself up. Okay? And a lot of people say, well, they ain't going to do it. Listen. You got to throw that stuff out, because this is not man doing this. And this is what people don't understand, and they can't seem to get it. This is not a man war. This is the war that's going to start, that will lead into the tribulation, into Jacob's trouble, Daniel's 70th week. That's what all this is. What you're seeing is manifesting itself. See, we see this through prophecy, through revelation, and we're starting to see all this stuff come about. The sun, even that's playing into this. They're saying by 2025, it'll be so hot on this planet. Well, talks about that in Revelation, about sun searing. Even the people that take the mark, it will burn from the sun touching it. So all these things, once you start putting them together, that's how we know how close we are. That's why we're so confident in what we say about what's coming, because we see it and it fits everything. Could we be wrong? We're man. I suggest we go to God, everybody, and you ask him what he's told me about how close we are. So he told me, just a little, endure just a little longer. You know, he's told me he's at the door, and he is. But like I said, God is always on time. I understand that. He's always on time. Now make sure you always put your prayer requests in here, okay? Don't forget that. Thank each and every one of you that bought me coffees today. Thank you for all the letters I've got this week through the mail and donations that way. Like I said, I don't ask you for them. But you guys, you help me help others. And I appreciate it, because I couldn't do it without you guys. There's just no way. I love each and every one of you. We want to run these things down and give you some kind of idea of how close we are. Because if you think we're close, we are. We're very close. No doubts. That's how close we are. Me and Kim's went over this stuff many times. Me and Bonnie. And we know how close we are. Just through the prophecies of watching Aaron on God a Minute and Dr. Barry. So much of us in Generation 2434, Brother Tyler, Gator 1111, Watchwoman 65, Lisa Boyce, always doing a great job as always, letting you know these events. You know, Lisa does a great job of keeping you informed. And the things that she brings up, she's like me. She sees the things that brings us closer to the rapture. And that's what's important right now, is seeing the things. I mean, there's plenty of other news stories out right now, but these are the ones you got to pay attention to, the ones we bring out, because these are the ones we have seen play a role in the rapture coming, okay? That's what's important. You know, a lot of people call us crazy and everything. That's fine. That's fine. I do what I'm told. My job, steady the ship, get people on the ark, and get people saved, because we're out of time. And that's what I intend to do. All I can do is give you what we're seeing and the events. The people, there's tens of thousands. Even kids down to 4 years old. Right now, I mean massive. You just don't realize how massive amounts of people, dreams, visions, signs. And most of them are seeing the exact same thing, and they don't even know each other. They've never met. And they're having the exact same dreams, the same numbers. Honeybees, honeycombs, you name it. It's not coincidence. He's letting us know time is up. If you're not saved, call upon Jesus. He died for your past, present, future sins, all your sins. He done it all, people. And he's the only way. It's through his blood. If you believe that he rose on the third day for you, he did it all. There's nothing you could do to get in. Only through that event is how you get in. There's nothing you can do. I don't care how many works you try to do. It's nothing. He's already did it all. And if you believe he is the only key, and it was his blood And that's because you can't get in. You're not worth it. None of us are. None of us would ever get in. Don't matter what you do, nothing. You could never get in. Only through his blood is the only way we got in. Trust and believe in that blood. And he rose on the third day, and the word of God is the truth. It's the only truth. He is the only God. He is Jesus. He is the Lord. You believe in that and trust in him. This is the grace period. I'm telling you. You're saved. Your rapture ready. You're ready to get out of here. Don't worry about your salvation. You're not going to lose your salvation. Okay? Once he stamps you, he don't come back and take it. Okay? That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Listen, you're going to mess up because you're a sinner. That's what we are. That's why we had to have him do what he did. Because if he did, none of us would be getting in. None of them. I don't care how people say, I'm perfect, I've never said. That has nothing to do with it. And he's going to tell people like that, I never knew you. It says it right in the Bible. Has nothing to do with it, people. It's the believing in what he did. The blood. That's the only door. You can't get in any other way. A lot of us are going to go, me, I did this, I did that. And he's going to say, no, I never knew you. It's the blood of Jesus Christ. Because he did it for you so you'd spend eternity in heaven with him. And we're so close. Very close. So don't give up. Don't hang your head. Just keep chugging. Like I said, we're going to get everybody in these description box or in these under these videos. We're going to get them all saved, okay? All these people are going to be saved. Your family members, your friends, they're going to be saved, okay? I have faith. We're going to keep praying, and things are great. They're going to happen for us, and they're going to be saved. And God hears every one of these prayers for them, okay? I ain't giving up on them, so don't you either. I love each and every one of you. If I don't see or hear from you again, we're going to meet in the sky in heaven.